Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about drowning and what to do if you find yourself in a situation where you are over your head. I'm not talking just about physically, I'm talking about emotionally, in your life, in your business. We're going to talk about how to save yourself in a situation where you are struggling. I know you're going to love the show.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness quest with your host Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I don't know if you've studied this at all, if you've done any kind of lifeguard training or spent any time in the water, ever been in the water where you're struggling to just keep your head above water. It feels very uncomfortable. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've been trained to help someone, I have a question for you. What do you do when you approach a drowning person? Like actually, hold on. If someone's drowning, and if you've ever felt like this before, what is your emotional state? And I'll tell you, for me, it is one where when you can't breathe, you're scared you're going to die. And so there's so much fear and flailing energy that is unproductive, but it's just absolutely sheer panic. And maybe you've seen this, maybe you've felt this, and maybe you've felt this in areas of your life that are more raw to you than experiencing it in a body of water. Maybe it wasn't in a swimming pool where you felt like this, utter sheer panic. And then your behavior in the middle of that, the flailing around. Now, what we learned when we are doing lifeguard training, and when I was training to be a scuba instructor and dive master and a rescue diver and these different things, we had to learn how to go save someone who was drowning and flailing about. And one of the things that was the core problem, if you are doing any lifeguard training, is that oftentimes the rescuer can be harmed by the person that they're trying to rescue, because that flailing energy, that fear, that raw panic, what will happen is the person will try to climb up on top of the rescuer and start to drown the person that came to rescue them. Now, this happened to me just very recently. I was having a conversation with someone, and they were flailing around. They were drowning in a story of their own making. And they were running a pattern. I could tell that they didn't necessarily feel that's the direction that they were, that was going on. But what I needed to do in that time frame was to change the pattern when I was communicating with them. Like, they were flailing all over themselves and all over me. And in the water, you can't do that. If for 30 seconds, they'll punch you in the face, not on purpose, but because they're just so desperate. And this is a lot of they. I had to look in the mirror about this after I had this conversation with this one person, and wonder where it is in my life that I am drowning and that I am flailing about. So this is relevant to all of us today. And in a life-saving situation, in the swimming pool or ocean or whatnot, you have to take control of the situation. If you are going to rescue and help someone, oftentimes that means you need to punch them in the face. You need to break their pattern. In order to do what? So think about this. Why do they teach that if necessary, you smack someone in the face in order to save them? What has to happen for the person to be saved? And I was thinking about this morning because I was reflecting on my own situation and the places in my life. See, that I know I need to grow, the places in my life that I know I need help. And I was thinking about this drowning analogy, and I'm like, why do we do that? Why do we, as the rescuer, why are we trained to smack someone in the face? And the word that came to me, and I feel like this is the key, is to submit. What we're looking for the person to do is to submit, to just relax and allow themselves to be helped. In the situation where the lifeguard is coming to save someone who is drowning, the drowning person is their own worst enemy. And as I was reflecting on this phone call that I had with someone, and I had the opportunity to be their rescuer, and let's say that it went well, that I saved them. That would be great. That would be great to the story. But what I really wanted to talk to you about today is asking the right question about where in your life do you need this lesson, because I was proud of myself for having a great conversation with this person, and I was able to interrupt their patterns and ask new questions and get them to focus on something slightly different and basically submit to receiving help. And I'm going to pat myself on the back and say that it went awesome, but that's not the focus for today. The focus is really the second part of looking in the mirror and asking yourself, rather than just listening to this and saying, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, I would agree, I feel the same way, I have seen people like that in the past, and I have saved them. Okay, that's cool. And I'm sure you have, as have I. But the real question here is to talk to the reflection. And to look into your own life. So here's my question for you today. Where in your life are you drowning? And do you need not to be saved, but to submit? See, I don't want to be anybody's savior. That is a tough journey. It's hard enough to get up the mountain on my own rather than put people on my back to carry them up. So I'm not asking for you to to find somebody who's going to save you. You're not broken and nothing's messed. It's just you're going through your process right now. The Road to Heaven, and I read this in a book this morning. I'm going through the book, Be the Man. If you don't have that book, I don't care whether you're man or woman, you should go get that book. It's by Garrett J. White, and it can transform your life, I believe. But I'm going through it, and one of the messages in the book this morning that stood out to me was the road to heaven goes through the gates of hell. And it's the gates of hell inside yourself. This was one of the messages that stood out to me, and then I had this conversation with myself about drowning, and then not savior, but submission. Because, and so for me, I looked around in my business, my relationship, the combination of things in my area, the body being balanced in business, where I need to submit, and really it's across all four. And what is it submitting to? Because I'm pretty excited about where I'm at in my life, and I'm pretty proud of where I am, and I can go ahead and pat myself on the back all day long. But the truth is I want to become more. I want to expand. So for me, if I look at each one, body, being, balance, and business, I know that I do need to submit, not to be saved, but just to be open to being helped and to receive guidance. So the cool thing is in my story, in my movie, like I want to be the hero of my story. So what I'm looking for is the guide. And so I have guides in my life in every area of body, being, balance, and business. I have found mentors to help me in tennis, or I'm listening, so that would be in my body, right? In some of the goals that I have mentors to help me in business. That's Garrett J. White. And he and I will jump on a phone call here real soon to talk about the next level. And for me, what that means is stop flailing around, stop drowning, stop the action and activity that I think is necessary to climb out of the water. But you don't climb out of water. You swim in water. And in order to actually get to the next level for myself, I need to, what I recognize for myself, and I don't know what it is for you, that I just need to submit so that I am open to being helped and served. In each of these areas, I'm sharing with you some of the mentors and the places that I am seeking for that guidance. One of them would also be inside myself. For the voice inside, when it comes to my purpose, and it comes to what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to spend my time, the voice is what I believe is God speaking through us to us. And I just need to submit and listen and commit to the discipline of submission every single day. and listening and becoming a better listener, and also responding to what I've been given. And so that's the voice inside. And when it comes to relationships, when it comes to anything, it's just, where are you drowning and where do you need to submit? That's my question for you today. I hope you find some value in it. I'm not going to go on and on and on about this. I think the analogy kind of does it itself. But I feel like there's areas in our life where we need a fresh smack in the face. And we can wait for the world to give it to us, or we can do it ourselves and push ourselves to the next level and recognize that we do need guidance and help and support. I mean, what a beautiful world we live in, where we have the ability to find so many amazing people that can help us and support us. So make sure you pick your mentors wisely, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow on another Daily Dose of Greatness class.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.